Hello, everyone, and welcome back to your free channel Q Zone. All you need to pass the ASQ CQM exam. Today's presentation is about Part 1 Leadership, Chapter 1A Organizational Structures, where we're gonna study different designs of organizational structures and comparing centralization to decentralization, and finally, types of organizational structures. So, what is an organizational design? So, we will start with the question, what is an organization? An organization is not necessarily a legal entity, a corporation or LLC. It can be up to one person or a big group of people intentionally organized to accomplish an overall common goal or set of goals. So the important words here, organized for a common goal. This is the key word for what an organization is. Organized for a common goal. So why organizational structure is required? We need an organizational structure to define the activity of individuals in this organization and to indicate the reporting relationship between these individuals throughout the organization. In other words, you need an organizational structure to know who is working what and who is reporting to who. Now, we have different structures of organization or different organizational structures, designs. In this lecture, we're gonna give the most important eight: the tall, flat, team-based, geographical, functional, matrix, product, and centralized, decentralized comparison. We will go by each one at a time. Tall or vertical organizational structure. As you can see in the photo to the right, it's called tall because it have multiple distinct layers which give it the shape of a tall. So this is a distinct layer with obvious lines of responsibilities and controls. So distinct lines of responsibilities and clear promotion structures. Each line is promoted to the upper line. Narrow span of control allows for close supervision of employees. Now, since we have different or multiple lines, then each line is narrower, it's not flat. So this narrow span of controls allow close supervision, more specialty. Decision making decentralized. So as you can see in this organizational chart, we have multiple layer. So this gives more decentralized decision making. We have the CEO, and under him we have four managers in this chart, and under him we have another line of managers. Each has his specialty or his category of decision making. Now, one of the negative things about this organization chart is the bureaucratic organization is the outgrowth of vertical organization. As you can see here, if the employee in the lower line wants to have an approval, then he have to go to his upper manager and maybe his upper manager to the upper manager and etc. This is called bureaucracy, more approvals, more formalities, more papers, and this is the result of vertical or tall organization chart. More technically sound organization. Now, usually the tall or vertical organization chart is more sound for big organizations where you need more managers and more directors and supervisors. It is not practical for small organizations. Please have a look at this organization. While looking at it, imagine why we have bureaucracy, why how we have multiple layers, how the span of control is. So now we can move to the flat or horizontal or wide organization. Minimum number of levels. As you can see in the lower photo, here we have only two layers, the CEO, and under the CEO we have two layers. High span of control for supervisors. As you can see, the two managers under the CEO are controlling everyone in this organization. The communication is good because the number of layers between the staff and the CEO is only managers. So it's easy to reach the CEO and even much easier to reach the manager. So the communication is good. Decision making time is short. We don't have multiple layers, so the staff can directly contact the manager and even more easily than the tall organization chart to contact the CEO. Decision making time is short. Again, because we don't have a lot of layers, so decision making is limited to this manager or to the CEO. This kind of organizational chart is suitable for small and new organizations where it is not feasible to have multiple supervisors, directors, managers, etc. Decision making is centralized. This is one of the negative aspects of the flat organization, is that decision making is centralized at the CEO or at the two managers, while in the vertical we have multiple layers, more specialties, supervisors, directors, division managers, etc., where the decision is directed to its specialty. And of course, since decision making is centralized, then decision may be unreliable and depends on the value of the CEO. So here the CEO is making all the decisions, or even the two managers maybe are making most of the decisions. So these decisions may be unreliable. As the number of employees increase, it's difficult or ineffective to manage this structure. And gentlemen, I believe this is a question in the ASQ exam for every round it comes. Now, have a brief look. Here we have the CEO. Under the CEO, we have three managers, and they are controlling all the 9 employees under them. So as you can see, the decisions are direct, the communication is direct. And if we have a big number of employees, then this kind of organizational chart will not be practical. Now we're going to have a small comparison between centralized organizational structure and decentralized organization structure. For the comparison, we will start directly with the table. Centralized to the left, decentralized to the right. Now, regarding decision making, now I believe it's clear that the decision making is concentrated at the top level in the centralized. So in the centralized, the upper manager is making all or most of the decision making, while in the decentralized structure, the decision making is distributed across different levels, each at his specialty. The communication, well, in the centralized, this is disseminated from top management. So in the centralized, communication is disseminated from top management, while in the decentralized may flow from any direction, not from the center. Flexibility. Centralized is less flexible and limited employees' engagement, while decentralized improved collaboration and innovation, where everybody has to participate, and this creates innovation. Another important kind or style of organization structure is the team based organization structure. This type is focuses on achieving an organization's goal. And this is another question in the ASQ where they ask you where we need a team based organization. It is where we need to achieve a specific goal or objective. Supports less hierarchy, giving freedom and authority to perform responsibilities. Members enjoy independence in the workplace. They are independent because they are working in a team. Promotes innovative ideas. When someone is inside a team, he's feeling the teamwork, he starts innovating. Empowers team members. Team members are empowered and have freedom to be productive and innovative. Improves communication. Well, no need to explain this. You are in a team. Increases efficiency. You are in a team, you want to contribute, you want to self actualize yourself. Promotes constructive competition among teams and even inside the team. Each one want to compete and prove himself. Introduces flexibility. We don't have too much bureaucracy here. We don't have formalities. We don't have to report to the manager. It's directly to the team leader. So this is flexibility. Enforces collaboration, which is normal in a team. Creates a feeling of belonging. I believe all of you have tried the team before, and it gives you the feeling of belonging. However, the team has some disadvantages. Here they are. Hides underperforming team members. So, if someone in a team is not performing, no one will see him. Management will not notice him. Superiors will not notice him. This is one of the disadvantages because his friends are performing and he's hiding, so he's hidden. Increases the chance of conflict. These are humans. Teamwork gives more conflict. And the third one is incompatible working environment. Well, we all know teamwork needs a certain environment, which is not easy to find in any organization. Geographical organization structure. Well, from its name, this organization is based on difference in locations. This kind of organization have somehow similar products, but in different locations. Now, different locations might give you different environments, different currency, or even might require little difference in the product. For example, if you are selling uh, women's wear, women's wear in the Middle East are different from women's wear in the far west or in the far east. So this will drive you into a geographical organizational structure. The grouping allow the organization to take care of the regional or international differences like the price, the customer preferences, the cost, or as we just discussed, even the products. Functional organization structure, this is more for the big organization that have different functions. And this is more common around us. Organization divided into functional categories. As you can see in the organization chart below, we have the general manager, and under him we have operations department, administration department, IT department, quality department, there might be safety department, procurement department, etc. This kind of organization, the best organization structure is to have functional organization structures. Each department will include the HR, IT, finance, quality, manufacturing. Several functions might be combined in small organizations and subdivided in large organizations. For example, and which is more practicable, like um, you can combine the quality and the safety as one department, or the IT and the administration as one department. Still, it is a functional organization structure. Coordination between different functions of problems or projects is very difficult in this kind of organization, since each department or division has its independent manager. And now we come to the matrix organization structure, which is mostly used in the bigger organization. This kind of structure is the matrix structure. It is a hybrid design incorporating projects and functional assignments. Now, it can be a hybrid between function and projects or function and products. As we look at the photo below or the chart below, we can see that the manufacturing unit is having two managers, the project manager and the manufacturing manager at the same time. The sales team has the sales manager and the project manager. They are under the management of both, and this is called dual reporting. It's more commonly used lately. There is a sharing of functional specialists which help to reduce the cost. They are sharing the functions to reduce the cost. So as you can see, the project manager and the manufacturing manager, they are both sharing the manufacturing unit. Decision making is decentralized in this kind of organization structure. Please have a short look at this organization structure, or at this matrix organization structure. As you can see, the marketing staff are reporting to marketing manager and the project. Same goes for R&D, engineering, and production workers. They are all reporting to their project manager and their functional manager. Another kind of organization chart is the product organization structure, which depends on the product diversity. It is organized along product lines, where this organization have multiple lines. Each product group has all functional requirement needed for operation. As you can see here, we have kitchenware, shoes, and other equipment. Each line is independent from the other. Based on this environment, each line must have his own manager. So the only way to organize this organization is based on the product, since each line of product has its own manager and its own category and requirements, etc. So each product group has all the functional requirements needed for operation. Major product groups of a company are directed by product managers. Benefits of such an organization includes fast response to issue relating to specific product group. Technically more sound. But where is it more sound? At organizations that have multiple or different products. Please have a short look at this organization structure, which is based on product. As you can see, the health, beauty, food, and a department which is admin and finance. Each product and the department have have its own manager, and each product is much different from the other product. So it must have its own manager, its own staff, its own finance, marketing, manufacturing, etc. Now let's have a small discussion or explanation for factors that may help on deciding the right organizational structure. To decide the right organizational structure, you must be very aware of this organization and its content in addition to its environment. You should be expert or very aware of the content of organization. Based on this content, you can decide which organization structure you can start with. The content that you have to be aware of will include strategy, size, technology used, core competition, regulatory, statutory, and other requirements, unions that exist inside this organization, the competitions, in general, all environmental factors. Thank you for your attendance, gentlemen. And our next presentation will be point 6 and 7 of chapter 1A, management hierarchy and organizational cultures. If you are interested in our free presentations related to American Society of Quality Certified Quality Manager, or if you are interested in this content, please follow us to receive more free presentations, and thank you.